Right, lads, the big recording, one some of you've all been waiting for. We're going to begin the review of the playoffs, and we're going to break it all down for you. Let's have a bit of a ride, shall we? The law shouldn't have allowed these lads in, but yep, winners of the Hooligan Division came down to the last fucking game. As it should be here, the good old boys. They've got the last qualifying spot. It means they come in at placing number 12, meaning they will indeed qualify for the first round of the playoffs, and they will play team number 5. I will discuss all this later on when I do a bigger summary here. So, good old boys, here you are, lads. You made it. Bravo, 3030 TV, 110 left in the kitty here. Let's take a look at what's left the roster here, because you've got a fight uphill the whole way here. Let's take a look here. 12 players here. The gutter runners are trying to get their act together. He's put horns on this. This is the cage diver. He knows it's the cage dive. It's AV6. He's got one roll. One. And he's going to do it and do it hard. Second one, this is going to be a really important skill up roll there. Anything is on the table. Anything and everything's on the table. Remember that, lad. When you roll it, everything's on the table. As for the rest of the firm here, he's got the two Storm Vermins. One's the Blodger here, which means he's basically the fire support for this lad here. This one here's the tackle. He is the control and the free safety. The thrower, he's got only the one there, but he's got the block there, so if need be, he gets escorted up as a designated ball carrier. And then, of course, this is critical. You're Skaven, you got a kicker, it's critical. His biggest problem is AG, so never expect him to get in the dunny. Ever. He's not getting away, is he? And of course, the one with block, that's fine. 14 rerolls, it's excessive. However, you got out of the Hooligan Division and your team is going to need those. So, I could be critical of it, but you know, the reality is you got out of the Hooligan Division, so you know what? Maybe this does play your playstyle, and it shows, because here you are. One apothecary, this is the other part that's going to hurt you coming out. 4 fan factor. That's all you fucking got. 4 fan factor. It's going to make your battle royale very tough to get all the way in there. Now enhancement there at the stadium, of course. That's not surprising there. But like I said, they made it. Now you need a team motto, but they definitely stole their way in here. All right, now we're going to have to take a look at team number 11.
It's a long way to Tipperary. It's a long way to go. It's a long way to Tipperary, to the sweetest.
Well, I'm not too sure they're sweet on this team, but yep, you're here. It's bottom of the qualified teams for sure there. You didn't come here for the Hooligan Division. Absolute rock bottom. Team number 11, Sovereign. First round, they were dynamite. Second round, it has been a fight for this firm to find its place. They made it. But the fight has just begun. Alright, team value 1440, 180 there, K. Let's go and take a look here at the roster here and see what can he do with this team. Well, Fluffy was dynamite in the first round. We've talked about him several times, but let's be honest, second round, total puss. And that's saying something from a Nurgle team. He's been utterly fucking useless. So I had to go and, basically express how bad he feels about that. The Warriors. He's finally got the second level up on this, so this is going to be critical where he goes with it, because you can also see here with the Pestigore crew he has built up, and he's built up for the Pestigore crew. His biggest issue with this firm has been constantly dead, and dead again. He keeps losing good players, and now here he is in the playoffs. So is he ready for it? Well, it's going to come down to the coach and Nuffle being less of a cunt as things go on. The Rodders. He's had to build a star Rodder, and he's also got the one here, the leader, just to keep the TV slightly down. And even then, it's a question mark. 5 fan factor, even he would admit that's a bit low there. And the 2 team T-rolls. Let's take a look here at the club. As you can see, no enhancement there to the stadium. So what you see is what you fucking get. His fight has just begun. And it's going to be interesting to see how he matches up. Alright, who's next on the list? And here we are, yep, the Amazons, they're still figuring out how the fuck they got in this, but here they are, position number 10, because, well, they seized it by both hands and somehow staggered their way in here. They had a pretty decent first round, got rather bad at getting there. Second round seemed like a total disaster right till finally that last game where they finally showed what they could do when the shopping is right. Let's take a look here at the Sisters of the Leaf here. Wolf Owl is staggered in, he's still dazed and confused how he got here. But let's take a look at these ladies and see what condition he really is in here for the next round. Let's take a look here. The Blitzer crew. And you can see he's got the one superstar, Churchill, in there, bloody rotten hell. And the rest of them, well, it's a tale of what's going on with this team. Remember, that has been entirely wiped out once. He has lost them all once this season. And you thought the Nurgles had a rough day of it. That's been the other rough day. They've been totally wiped out. He's had to replace that. The catcher crew and the line woman. Remember, the throwers both died. So he's had this designated thrower, line woman, and she's doing the job. So he hasn't bothered replacing it because he's sticking with what works. As for the catchers, another one's eating a niggler. That he didn't need. And then, of course, the other one, well, she got a skill. So he has a semblance of a passing game. Then you look at the line woman. This is what's had to carry his team all fucking season, because the blitzers have been useless and he's had to replace them. The catchers he had to replace and he's now building them up, and the throwers are all dead, so this line woman had to step up, as have all the rest here. And as you can see, Blodge, he's got at least a tackle in there. He's got another one that's busted ass, and then of course the AG4, which allows him to do a couple of miracles here and there. 3 rerolls, Apothecary, 6 fan factor. It's a bit low going in, but considering what he went through, I think he's just glad to fucking be here. Let's take a look at the club. You can see the Humidor's got no actual upgrades here, so that's not a major concern there. What his real concern is his first matchup, and then any other matchup if he ever gets that point. But like I said, here is a coach who is absolutely delighted just to have fucking gotten here. And maybe that is the tale to take, but watch out for these ladies. They might have a few surprises in for you. Alright, who's my next team? Well, you're not actually top of the league, but you've been having a laugh the whole fucking time, so I think it's a legitimate shot for you there. Straight from the underworld there. T-Squared has done the miracle. He's here in the playoffs, and he's one of our next qualified teams here. Let's go and take a look at the surviving team roster here under 14-13. He's got 180 there. He's got room to expand. He's definitely got some room to expand here. But let's take a look here. The Storm Vermin, yeah, it's looking great here. He's got a skill up. He's got jump up there. And because he's got a skill up, he's got any possible skill he wants to buy. So he's really going to take a look who his next opponent is and base his decision on that unless he gets a crazy die roll. He's got, of course, the Claw and the Tentacles on good old Troll there. So the Troll is starting to do his business at last this. Elder Skaven Blitz there. Claw, Mighty Blow. Expect him to get a nasty little bit of packaging sometime. He's definitely not going to live long here. There's a couple of teams that want to have a word with you. But don't get me wrong, it's a good piece. And here we go. 2 throwers. Absolutely great skilling up in there. He's got the one that goes gets the ball. The other one, once he retrieves the ball, is good at getting the ball up the field. So both work as a good tag team. 2-headed Skaven lineman. It's been funny to see how useful he's been all season. It's not perfect, but he's definitely been very strong in utility. And, of course, he's got the one who's the free safety. Tackle and wrestle. That's his job, and he's been doing it, not bad. Well, in your hands, anything is not bad. That's kind of true there. And then, of course, the Goblins, you have seen the punishment these lads have taken, and yet they have stood and delivered so many times. It has cost them dear. I don't think anyone will ever have children ever again because the amount of pounding to the balls they've taken. But no one would ever doubt their cojones, because look at the supporters. 8 fan factor. The supporters have no doubt of just how much guts this firm really does have here. Apothecary 3 rerolls. Take a look here at the club. As you can see, there's no actual enhancements on this one there. So, he is considered the wobbling surprise of any given Sunday. Here's the firm that you don't know what's going to happen in any given game there. It either goes all wrong or it goes all right. But one thing's for sure with T-Square, you are always going to be entertained. Right, who's next? Right, here they are. It's a team, again, that he's had a challenge the whole way. It's probably because the nobles haven't cooperated very well. Hammer time and Fen request. He's taken his version of the Bretonians, 1410 TV, 80k. Let's go and take a look at this team. I'm going to tell you a tale of saga, woe, and hopefully, as he says, a great crusade to come back all the way and grab that holy chalice, as he would say there. The peasants. He's finally, since the beginning of the season, he finally has a full roster of peasants. No, this is an achievement for this firm. This is actually a fucking achievement here. One's got guard, one's busted, no surprise here. The nobles. There's a lot that can be said about these nobles. Absolutely a lot. Most of them are usually behind their backs because of how poorly they have performed, aka dead. Oh well, inbreeding does have its uses, and now you can see here he's got yet another new crew of battalions here. Now he's got a couple there. Good set. Dies a lot. There's an obvious comment there. Yep, that position has died 3, maybe 4 fucking times. I've lost track. Other ones, it's been a slow, but he's got the blodge on all of them there. AG increase, good choice. Tackle on another, so he's kind of concerned what he's going to start running into there. And then it's the blockers. The blockers, the yeomen, have been basically what have carried this team the whole way. They get credit for it, of course not. But they are what has carried this firm. God gives them all the flexibility he wants. Of course, they come with a wrestle, and of course, he's got the dodge. 2 rerolls, 8 fan factor, 1 apothecary there. The 2 team rerolls is short. At this point, he would rather have 3, but as told, this has been a tale of woe, tragedy, and a great crusade just to get to this point here. But he's made it, he's qualified, and now we'll see how far he can really take this firm. Alright, who's next?
Ton arrière-arrière-grand-père, il a défriché la terre. Ton arrière-grand-père, il a labouré la terre. Et puis ton grand-père a rentabilisé la terre. Et puis ton père, il l'a vendu pour devenir fonctionnaire. Et puis toi, mon petit...
I bet you wonder where I learned that one from. Anyway, Corn, welcome again to the show here. Yes, the Camry. Next up there, the Sand Destroyers. Even he's kind of shocked they made it. Yeah, proved Camry indeed can make it to the playoffs here. And he made it solid. He made it solid indeed. 1500 TV, 190k saved up. Let's go and take a look at this firm here because, my God, what this team can do here. And this is why he's this far in, because he's got quite a few surprises for us here. Let's take a look at the Tomb Guardians. They've endured. It's the best way for it, and they've endured well. Monty Blow. Well, you know what division he came out of, so that's 0 surprise there. Care surprise. And one, of course, got the God. This is the piece that helps determine how well this team does in here. The ultimate free safety blitzer, look at that, 2 movement increases. Movement 8. He will run you down, and he'll fuck your shit up. That is what he does. The other blitzer he's had to replace. He's rebuilding them there as we speak. Meanwhile there, Astrolabe. Yes, the skeleton with AG3 and the block. This is the other reason his team, if he gets another skill point and gets further, you bet he's buying sure fucking hands there. That is the quarterback. It really is. One dirty player. Kick essential for this team for what it does. And of course the one good thrower here. Where the block. He's got the sure hands built in, of course, and he's got the accurate there. Well, like I said, he's got a weird style, and it works. 3 rerolls, 8 fan factor. And now you see this is where life starts getting interesting for this firm. Yes, he's one of the first teams that has upgraded his stadium. Astro Granite playing surface. So anyone makes a GFI, down they go. Well, his figuring is he's got plenty of players to work with. He can certainly buy more and go from there. It's basically because now he's got this Movement 8 player, he really is forcing you to have to start running more. And if you trip, it's on your own face. So it's a diabolical idea. It's like Gay Lafleur going down the ice. I don't care where you're hiding, he's going to chase you down. And if he doesn't get you, Chelios will. Okay. Yeah, you lads over there understand what I mean by that one. Okay, so let's go and take a look at the next firm, shall we? Alright, let's go and take a look at this team here. Now, they're one of the more interesting ones how they qualified, considering they're not where you thought they would be, but this is where how the playoff setup this season work out a bit differently here. He's got a decent record, but he didn't win his division when it was determined by tiebreakers. Okay, he's in a dead heat. Other than when it comes to overall performance, not a comment on you there, lad. Talk to your firm about that one there. Consult your doctor if performance is right for you. But it's what happens. So he ends up in the regular round of the playoffs here. But that's alright because like I said, all season, I've been saying this since game one. You're witness to that. I've got high expectations of you, and well, here you are. Keep it up, lad. Keep it utterly fucking up here. That's what she was saying last night. Damn it. Anyway, 1720 TV here, 140 save. Let's go and take a look at what these Dark Elves can do for you. Now, if you're talking about casualties, there's a story here. He used to have a hell cluster of what we called the Wood Elven slaves. All of them are dead, except for the Kicker. Kicker's the only one still alive. He's busted ass, but he's still doing his job there, because they have promised him, if they win, they'll let him go back to the forest. Not happening. It's really not fucking happening. Here's his new replacement line, and again, they're getting their asses busted. Again, this is no surprise. This happens with his firm all season. Does it deter this coach? Hell not. Because he basically feels like some of you are going to die for my victory, but it's a sacrifice he's more than willing to make. Okay, so that is the life of his Dark Elves. But let's take a look at the rest of the stars here. The Blitzers have been the core all season, and they've done phenomenal work, as you can see, from blodge to tackle, strip ball, side step. It's amazing. And here's the fun part. You can see as the season's gone on here, they've slowed down, but that means they all keep generally pacing there. None of them excel, but none of them are humble either, if you know what I mean. So it becomes an all-around attack force. Meanwhile, the Witch Elves, Calendar Girls, late additions to the firm, but they definitely have made tell. Blodge, and of course the Wrestle here on this one here. So there's a lot of flexibility these ladies now give them here. And then of course the Runners. Well, poor old Matt here has had a hell of a season. But look at the skills he's got. Wrestle. Dodge. He's been his arse busted several times, but he keeps coming in every one of the games. I can take Tyson. And that's why he keeps fielding him there. That player never quits, so the coach doesn't quit on him. And that's why he's here. He's got the new replacement. He's trying to train up here, and he's going to help to actually get something out of him here. 3 rerolls, Apothecary, 8 fan factor here. Let's take a look at the club. As you can see, there's Ferry to Heaven. There's no actual enhancements, but he hasn't required it. Now, we can discuss about his TV is a bit high, but that's because they're a team, as you can see, that has performance. Lots of performance here. They thought they were in a bad division. Instead, they came out of that division as the number 2 in that division there. I don't think they've got anything really to worry about there. They should just prepare, train, and be ready for the next opponent here, because the battle is on for the silverware. Alright, let's go take a look at the next review, shall we? Well, they made it. They definitely made it. He's shocked even himself here, but it's been a solid firm all season. Bravo. Well, indeed done. Iceblade has come and performed here. Well, there's Necrofirm here. Dead Pirate, Roll No Skull. They've taken Griff's advice. They certainly have. 1730, a huge bloated amount of cash in here. And let's go and review why. Because he's been on a recruitment drive, as he said, all fucking season. He has fired. I'm serious. Fired multiple zombies he has recruited this season. So there's no fear from this coach. He has slaughtered dozens, it feels like, this season. Well, I know he knows. If you go take a look at the statistics in the history, it's frightening. 9. He's got the most kills of anybody. He slaughtered 9 this season. He's had 9 separate zombies recruited into his firm. He's had to fire, I believe, according to him, he's fired 5 of them. Because he can't carry anymore, lads. He can't carry anymore. It's just there's no fucking room. He's building a B squad in another league with that bunch. Anyway, let's go and take a look at this firm here to see what's been doing the business here. The good old boys here, the Wolfie boys, doing great here. He's got block on one, the mighty blow face rip over here, tackle on that to chase down those little dodges. The Flesh Golems, he's only got block on one, but you know what? It hasn't mattered with this firm because look at the guard he's built up, especially with the zombies on top of the whites. Normally people would criticize that, but this is his play style, his firm, and look where he is. Seriously, look where he is. Position number 5. That's where he is. He is top of the qualifying teams who has to play a first round of playoffs in here between 5 and 12. They're the ones who have to play the rounds here, and then that settles things out here. I'll discuss that in more detail later. Here we go, though. As you can see, he's got another skill up here, qualify for the white. He's got anything possible here. So he's going to take a look, and yeah, if you can figure it out right, guess who he is? Number 5. Guess who he's got? Yeah, he's got Skaven to deal with. At least I think he does. I'll have to double check that, but it's probably how it's all going to shake out in here. Meanwhile, as you can see here, the rest of the firm, he's got the Wrestle here. He's got the one really good fast build Bexley Ghoul, which is what he needs here. Goes with the werewolves very nicely here. He's got the kicker, essential, very essential, especially when you got guard and maneuverability there. And he's got the one dirty player, because that's no surprise at this point here. 3 rerolls, 8 fan factor, and let's take a look at the actual club here. You can see he does have it to level 2, and he got the weather dome. He doesn't like weather being a variable. And it shows. It really does show here. So this firm, there's pretty good expectations how they're going to do. Now, admittedly, they have to play another actual game before they get into what they almost call the real core 8. But they made it. Number 5. It was only because of the division they're in. They're not higher up. Alright. Now we're going to start taking a look at the top 4 teams. And they're the ones who earned a bye. Right, here it is. This is the team that finished by the ranking number 4. Now, there's a difference how number 4 actually works this year. So let me actually explain it here. Number 4 means you didn't win a division, but you were top points. And that does get rewarded this season. That the fact that you had a massive amount of points right there. It means you dominated both round 1 and round 2, but just didn't win a division because of the nature of what division you're in. But you do get rewarded for that effort, which means you get one of the first of 4 buys here. So here you are, Cemetery Gates by Rad Ogre. Yes, it is a shambling, or shall we say, scooting undead team here. 1540, 90k. It's a pretty decent balance to start. Now let's take a look at the firm here and see what they come to stand and deliver. And they get to wait a while for their opponent to actually show up. So, let's take a look here. The mummies. Typical build in here. They've got the guard, which is good. And, of course, one's got the grab. And there's a logic to it. And you can see when he plays, that logic is deadly. And, of course, here he's got the 2 whites. One with the frenzy. One's got the blodge. They're doing the job. He's not complaining about it here. Here's where the magic happens here. The ghoul friends. And the ghouls, they're why this team has finished with so many bloody points here on the roster here. Blodge, tackle here. AG4 increase here. This one's even got a guard, so he tucks in when he needs to, and then he gets the fuck out of there. And, of course, he's got the new one because, yes, ghouls die. Unfortunately, they do indeed. That's all right. And then you can take a look. He's also done a recruitment drive. Now, it's not been as brutal. He's only killed 5, you know, but it's still brutal, isn't it? 5 kills over the course of a season. That means he has indeed recruited people. So he's never worried about zombies all season. He doesn't care. If he loses one, he knows he's going to get another one. He's got one banged up. Who cares? Other one's doing nothing. Who cares? It's this which gets pretty funny. He's also got a guard one, so he's found uses for it with his team. See, now you start seeing there's a logic here with these undead firms. They're not doing what you think they would normally do. They've been using a very strange mobile guard positioning. Well, look how they finished, lads. Number 4, number 5. So there's something to it, isn't there? And of course, he's got the one essential dirty player from his figuring there. 3 rerolls, 9 fan factor. He's got a cheerleader and he's got coach's assistants there. So he tends to steal the rerolls as often as possible there. Now, he hasn't actually done any upgrades to the stadium, but he's not concerned about that. He's really not. This is firm. That has done business all season here. As a reminder, as we said here, they finish overall in the 4th position, which means they get a bye, so they get to await their opponent to find out what happens. Meanwhile, now let's actually take a look at the teams that won their divisions. Oh, we're having a laugh, alright. Good God, are we having a fucking laugh. It has been crazy. It has been utterly crazy here. Because guess who the next fucking cunts are? You got it, it's Wankers Cramp United. Yep, there's a Chorf fucking team here. There's a fucking Chorf team. Yep, and they won their division. Yep, they're one of the 3 firms that went completely unbeaten this season. And let's go and review this. As you can see here, they've got a pile of money because they got nothing fucking to do with it. 1630 TV, and let's go and take a look at this bunch of dicks. And as you can see, there's a theme here. Money blow, money blow, money blow, money blow, money blow. Do you really sense there's a theme with this firm and what they do? And then, of course, take a look here. He's got, you know, the Bull Centaurs. Yep, both will block another one. Gee Willikers, money blows, sir. Yeah, that's no surprise. And then, of course, look at the rest of the roster here. Gee, dirty players, sir. Yeah, no fucking surprise there. There's not one, but 2. So, yeah, you eject one, he just goes and sends the other one in. He's got one theme. And the word is beware. And meanwhile, this is the one who's scaring everybody so far. He's one of the top SPP of the entire league. If you want higher SPP, go look at the Pro Elves. Yeah, seriously, go look at the Pro Elves. They're the only ones that even get higher up there. Strength 4, Blodge. This is a problem, lads. This is a serious problem here. 3 rerolls, 9 fan factor, Apothecary. He's got no enhancements for the club, though that might change considering he's got a pile of money. What are the odds he's going to pad things up or upgrade the field here? And remember, first round bye for winning the division. So, there's one of your biggest threats going in for this season here. But now let's go and take a look at the other 2 division winners. Because if anyone can stop them, well, it might be anyone. We will really indeed see. Let's go take a look at it. Must be nice everywhere you walk, it's a porno song. It must be nice here. Yep, they did it. They won the division. No one expected it, but they won their division. But my God, as you can see, there's nothing left of this firm. They have been rubbled getting here, but they won the division. That wins them a precious buy here. 1110 TV, that's all that's left here. 330k, and let's go and review the team here. Like I said, they got crippled getting here, but they're here. Let's take a look at the Storm Vermin. Well, they're starting from scratch again, but they're hard-working. They do anything to wear a cape. They'll do anything. As for the Gutter Runners, another set of rebuilds except for the Survivor. This has been the lad who has done everything he's been asked of him there. Always carries a trick card up his sleeve, and everything you hear about him is true. Big hands, blodge, sidestep. There's a reason why he is considered the leader of this firm. Then me and the rest of the Gutter Runners here. Banged up, battered, but you can see his play style. Wrestle, so they cage dive, they steal your balls, and they run away and make you feel good about it too. And then, of course, well, the thrower, he had to replace him early. He's brought in a new one there. He is doing his business, just very calm, very carefully, providing the football for the rest of the team. And then the Line Rats, as you can see, devastated, utterly crippled, wiped out. But don't worry, there's a lineup going around the fucking corner for 2 kilometers, willing to sign up for the next round here, because he does have a buy and he's got a bit of money here, so he's going to be recruiting a few of them here. 3 team mean rolls, 8 fan factor. The Apothecary taking a look at the club there. He hasn't updated it any, but you know, that's all right here. His focus is to get the team together, get them encouraged, and then find out who is the survivor he's got to take on. Alright? well done. It's amazing what charm, handsomeness, and just sexiness can do as a coach. Ask the Chorfs. Anyway, let's go and take a look who came up number 1 qualified. That's how much you all feel having faced this lad here. Yep, top of the league, and he's having a laugh there. Yes, Luke Quad 4, he's finally had the team of his dreams. Finally, a season it all came together so far. Yep, the Pro Elves, number 1, won the division. Didn't win any of hearts though, but they won the division. And let's go and take a look at this 1530 roster, 140. And you can see it wasn't all that way, but the key was, of course, the AG5 he started with early, and after that, it was just non-stop performance by this team here. He's got the big star thrower here with the strong arm, nice skill there. Of course, the blitzer, who has helped carry the team, along with Pee-wee here, they too, AG5. There's nothing they can't do, except roll a double one. That they can do, and they've done that several times this season, but they haven't died for it. Lineman there helps protect the lads there with the block and the guard. You can see there's a couple of cripples there. And then here comes the next step because he's slowly been trying to skill up other players. It's been kind of hit and miss because it has been a deadly season. And people have seen as the season went on, his play style did adjust because now he was trying to protect star players, not just going all out anymore. You could kind of tell, unfortunately. You could kind of tell. But now it's balls to the walls, lads. It's balls to the walls here. The new blitzer here who's coming up needs that one more skill point here. The new catcher who's developed nicely, of course, now has the blodge to go with the nerves of steel and, of course, the catch. The new lineman here goes very well here. Complementary guards. This is, of course, is the kicker. Very critical on a Pro Elf team when it comes to positional control. The new catcher has got dodge, but then you can see the rest of the linemen. This is where his problems are beginning. He is starting to get a bit busted up here. He has built up a roster, but like I said, it wasn't as easy as he thought it would be. 3 rerolls, 7 fan factor, a little low for the person who won the division. It is a little low. And of course, he's got the hard apothecary. And yes, fun fact there, they tied their last game. But they are one of the 3 firms that were unbeaten all season. They took 2 ties though, but that last game, that was a bit ominous for them. That was seriously a bit ominous because if you've seen the broadcast, they could have lost that game, but their opponent figured a tie was good enough. That may be haunting last words to you, chap. That might be haunting last words. Because since he didn't take advantage of it here, you've now got your stadium at level 2. You haven't bought the enhancement yet. You're thinking about it. But there's a lot of options. You're going to have to really study that very carefully there. As you can see there, it's a fantastic roster. Because they earned a bye by being number 1, period, especially winning their division, congratulations, they get a team recovered fully for the big playoffs. Alright, now we're going to try and break down the playoffs for you. Okay, you ready for this? Because this is math. And I know math's not a strong point for some of us. Like this one. Alright, now we're going to try and break this down here because, yeah, only a few of us have this chart, so I'm going to break it down. As you can see, it's a little different how the playoffs work. The idea was this playoffs, based on feedback, really did make a lot more sense. 1, Hooligan Division went back to the way it should be. A last effort to try and qualify absolutely rock bottom repechage, the way it should be, not like another division. It really should be your last fucking chance here. Also, there was proper reward for not just winning your division in the second round, but also reward if you overall did good. Because there were teams that did really great the first round, then did really fucking lousy in the second round. And in the old days, that could have led to elimination. This season, you have seen correctly, there is a balance between the first round and the second round, okay? It did qualify you benefit. If you did lousy the first round, but made it in, but then dominated in the second round and even won your division, we've got a great example of that. One of the firms in there, behold, you made it. But that was a tough way to do it. However, if you just overall did great, then you probably made it in. And if you did phenomenal, the first round and absolutely died in the second round, well, you had a fight to get in, but you still had a good chance of getting in. You're just nowhere near the top here. So let's quickly review here so you can see how it all went down here. As you can see, there are our first bye teams. Number 1, because they won their division there. Luke Quad 4, the Pro Elves, advances up. Lando, because he won his division. He found a way. He gets the second bye. And you can see he's beat up, he's battered, but he does earn a bye. Meanwhile, down here, second stage. Yep, there's Rat Ogre. He earns that because overall he's got some of the highest points total, but didn't win a division. But because he's got the highest points overall, he gets the next bye. Alright? And then, of course, well, yeah, the Troffs won their division. But they won it because no one was taking them down, so lo and behold, they get the other bye. Not like the cunts need it, but they get it there. So you can see here, they get the bye, they get to sit around and wait to see what happens in the next battle. So over here, the Pro Elves are waiting to see who survives from Hammer Time the Bretonians and T-Squared in the Underworld. As you can see, it's very bizarre how this works. Now remember, look at how the standings work. It's Bang Metal has to fight number 1. They're not happy about this. They are not fucking happy at all here. So they're going to batter each other and then battle on to go in here. So if people said that path looks pretty fucking clear going to the finals. Meanwhile, let's take a look here what Rat Ogre and his crew have actually got. Well, his Shambling Scooting Undead. Well, look what they've got here. They've got the Necros versus the Skaven Alahugan division. Well, we got a freaking feeling what's probably going to happen there, and that is going to be a game definitely worth casting in here. But as we told you before, we will try and bring you all the playoff game and all the playoff action as this goes on here. And then the Survivor goes on to take on whoever comes out of this mess. Then, meanwhile, let's take a look at what Lando has to face once he survives his bye and starts recovering his team. It is the Battle of Khemri and the Amazons. A weird battle if you've ever seen. Now, the Amazons could be in any given Sunday game, or it could be a complete disaster here. It all comes down to can Cord and his Khemri get their filthy mitts on him. If they can, well, that's going to be a battle royale against Bill Bexley's speed. So the Khemri already have a real challenge here. They have a really dodgy team and then a Bill Bexley team. They're going to have a hell of a fight trying to get their way in here. Meanwhile, down here, as you can see, the Troffs, they get to smoke some cigars, sit back and relax for a while as they watch the Dark Elves and the Nurgle just fucking go at it. And right now, the Nurgle, well, they're here and they're facing Dark Elves. Of all things, the team they really do not want to face, but you know what? They're hoping that this maybe starts pulling together. What neither firm is looking forward to is who they face afterwards. They've got the Troffs, who are going to be ready, locked, cocked, and ready to rock. And neither team wants to face that. Neither team wants to face that. And then whatever comes out of this, bangs in here. And then, of course, we have your grand final. So, just so you understand, that's how the playoffs works. As discussed, is reward for winning your division there in the second round. You get rewarded also, as you can see here, number 4 here, for just having a whole, not winning a division, but you had a whole pile of points. You were rewarded for it for consistency first and second round. And because of how things do work out this season here, there's also consistency for... This is a great example right here. And there's the other great example. Did phenomenal the first round. Absolutely sucked eggs in the second. But they did manage to pull out a luck win or two. And that kept them alive. Again, like I said, it came down to the last game week. And a lot of teams had to seize their destiny as hard as they could here. And other firms, well, they're here. And they've got a battle in front of them there. The work is not done. So there you have it. That is your playoffs, summed up in a nutshell. Well done, you made it this far, and now the excitement begins. Thank you all for taking part, and Nuffle, bless your dice.